Good afternoon. Good to see everybody here for our monthly media press. I want to thank everybody for coming out and for all the work you do. I may have a little bit of a substitute coming in here, just a little bit. We wanted to pull together some information to share with the community in addition to our overall update about just where things stand with SNAP benefits and some of the things that we know are very, very important to members of our community and each and every person that's been impacted by the government shutdown. So we'll get to that. But I want to start with a update on the recent mass shooting and where we stand on public safety across this city. To date, 5 people have been arrested in connection with the downtown mass shooting. 3 of them are charged with capital murder and with assault on the 12 other victims. One of the suspects, Javorick Whiting, was charged with attempted murder and released on bond. When the district attorney requested a bond increase, the judge denied it, citing the suspect's lack of prior criminal history. I want to speak to that point. While we certainly understand the role that a person's criminal history plays into sentencing, I think we have to look at things within context. And when you have a shooting such as this that endangers not only one person's life, but the lives of many other innocent civilians, business owners, and so forth, to me that calls into question for a different approach and a different rationale as it relates to what that bond schedule may look like. I think that this is an issue not only here in Montgomery and talking to other elected officials and leaders across this state and across this country. It's an issue that I think bears our review. I also think we have to be sure that as we look to be fair in the sentencing and certainly what a person may have in their criminal background, that we look at really other outstanding factors, like the fact, again, this was in a crowd, this was on a busy street, this was at a time when anybody in our entertainment district could have been walking down the street. That's an issue, and I think when we have people that are reckless with their decision makings, they don't deserve to be evaluated and assessed in their bail and bond schedule the way that some other offender may be assessed. And that's, I think, a question that the community has to raise with our judicial branch in this community. We have to decide if we're going to be serious about crime. That's not just about the Montgomery Police Department. That's not just about arresting people. That is about making sure that we're sending strong messages in our sentencing, that we're sending strong messages in our bail and bond requests, and what those data, what the data shows us is somewhat different here than in some of our counties around the state of Alabama. So we've got to make sure that even in a situation like this, where the person may not have had a prior criminal history, if the district attorney is asking for an increased bond, then I think we ought to honor that. If the police department is asking for an increased bond due to unique circumstances, we ought to make sure that we are honoring that. We have to send a message that if you're in this city, if you're in this county, we are not going to accept criminal activity. There are a number of ways to do that. But when you have judges that are releasing suspects like this on bond, when they're shooting into a crowd that did injure multiple people, killed multiple people, and could have injured many, many more, that doesn't sit well with me, and it shouldn't sit well with anyone in this community as it relates to how our judges are looking at violent crime. And I want to be very specific. This is about violent crime, and this is about those in particular who have automatic weapons, semi-automatic weapons as well, and the impact that it has on our community. We have to make sure we're not just coming to city council meeting to voice concerns and complaints, but that we're taking that up with our legislature, we're taking that up with our judges, and we're making sure that those who are on the bench understand what their responsibility is, not just to the offender, but what their responsibility is to this community. And I think we have to make sure we drive that message home and we do a better job of communicating that, because I just don't feel like this person should be out on bond. And I feel like if the district attorney asked for an increase in that, then that should have been accepted by this judge. That said, I won't belabor that point anymore, but was happy to revisit if you have any questions. That is an issue because when we think about those that were impacted by this gun violence, this Census Act of violence, with the lives that were lost, we are grateful that of those that were hospitalized, most are expected to come out of their condition. One is in still very serious condition, and unfortunately, we just don't know where that's going to land. So there could be an additional person that succumbs to their injuries as a result of what took place. But I also want to be clear that we share that police are still working to identify other potential suspects connected to this incident. Individuals who may have helped the shooters evade arrest or hide evidence. And we're grateful for the community coming forward to help us identify just who those people are. We're grateful for the tips that have continued to come in, and as we are grateful for all of our law enforcement officers at the county, state, and federal level. I think it's very clear, but I'll make it clear once again. We're going to find each and every person who was affiliated with this mass shooting. You may think that we have forgotten. You may think that things have gone back to normal. They have not. We are still following up on our leads, and we're still making sure that any tip that we get, any piece of video evidence that we have, that we follow through on that. And we're going to continue to do that because time is on the side of our investigators. Every detail, every digital footprint, every piece of evidence, it all speaks to us. And I want to thank Chief Grayboys, Sheriff Cunningham, Leah Secretary Hal Taylor, our FBI, ATF, U.S. Marshal Service, certainly the detectives at Montgomery Police Department, and each and every person for continuing to see this case through. They worked around the clock, and their professionalism has made all of the difference. And when we zoom out and look at the larger picture, we see real progress across our community. It's important for you all to share this and put it in big, bold print. Violent crime is down nearly 24%. That's significant. Would we want it down 100%? Of course we would. But when you have that almost coming 10 months into the year, that's significant work that's being done by our community partners, that's being done by many people in the neighborhoods across the city, and that's being done by law enforcement and our partnership where that is concerned. We've also seen nonviolent crime being down 12% and overall crime being down 14%. And that includes numbers such as robberies being down over 33% in this city. And that's progress worth noting because, again, it reflects the hard work of our officers and every one of our residents and our community partners who's looking to make sure that this community is safe. And again, we know that anytime there's a loss of life, that's one too many, but we want to make sure that all of our residents know we will not rest until every neighborhood not only is safe, but feels safe, and every family feels secure, and every act of violence is met with justice. Next, I certainly want to talk about the best of who we are and our respect for those that we have served. With that being said, as I get just a little bit more information, I want to share one particular thing with this community as it relates going back to the crime issue. Our police department and recruiting efforts are paying off. We're seeing increased numbers in the amount of employees with the Montgomery Police Department. We're seeing increased numbers in the amount of applicants into the hundreds. our efforts, supported by the City Council, to increase the police salaries is helping, but also the word of mouth in this community is helping. So I want to thank all the people who have talked about a career in law enforcement and seeing that as a positive opportunity for young people and for mid-career professionals to take a look. That's helping our numbers, and we expect to see one of the largest classes in recent years coming up in the next few months. So we're going to continue that as we continue to rebuild and restock the talent in our police department, and we are just really excited about the positive trajectory that we have in our city. And I didn't think I should leave the area of the subject of public safety without acknowledging that. And so to everybody at MPD and recruiting, everybody in the law enforcement community, everybody in our community overall, thank you for getting the word out about what a career in law enforcement really means. And for those who haven't decided, it's not too late. You can still sign up for the next class as well. Now I want to talk about yesterday. Yesterday was Veterans Day, and we launched the Veterans Memorial Park fundraising campaign. This new 14-acre park at 2390 Congressman Dickinson Drive will serve as a lasting tribute to America's veterans and a gathering space for families across Montgomery. The park will feature a memorial walk, flag plaza, landscape gardens, and a water feature, along with walking trails, picnic areas, and a playground designed to be accessible for everyone. It's both a place for reflection and recreation. We can't honor our heroes who have served this country enough. This is just one additional way that we attempt to do just that and to recognize not only their sacrifice, but also that of their families. The total project will cost about $1.28 million, funded through a mix of city support and community fundraising. Thank you to each and every person and organization who has given to this cause. And we've made it easy for residents who still want to give and businesses to contribute online, whether it's $10, $100, $1,000, or $10,000, whatever you would like to give. Every donation helps us honor those who have given so much. This park will stand as a lasting tribute to our heroes and is a testament to Montgomery's commitment to honor service and build a stronger and healthier Montgomery. As we approach Thanksgiving, let us not forget those veterans who, again, even in light of the government shutdown, are continuing to deal with the pain and trauma of their service. While Veterans Day is the formal day that we acknowledge their service, it's never too late to listen to a veteran, to ask a veteran to come speak to a class or an organization and talk about their experience, why they signed up, why they are proud of their service, and just what they hope the next generation will understand moving forward about what veterans have done for hundreds of years in this country and what they continue to do actively right now, both at home and abroad. Now, as we approach Thanksgiving, I want to wish every Montgomery family a safe and peaceful, meaningful holiday. This season gives us a moment to reflect on gratitude for our families, our neighbors, and the progress we continue to make together as a city. But it also reminds us to show compassion for those who are struggling. We know that some of our neighbors are dealing with the effects of the recent government shutdown and the reduction in SNAP benefits across our state. And while there's optimism now that the government will reopen, we know that the impact will be lasting. About 14% of Alabamians were affected. That's more than 700,000 people. In Montgomery County alone, more than 53,000 people need SNAP benefits. 53,000. Adding to that, around 4,000 federal employees working in this city are not receiving paychecks. This is making it harder for many families to put food on the table this season. So I'm asking all of us as individuals, churches, nonprofits, and civic organizations to step up and support the people in your care. And many of you already have done that. We're asking for you to continue to do that over these next several weeks. Let's make sure that no one in Montgomery feels forgotten this Thanksgiving. And for those who do need help, we posted a list of local resources and assistance programs on our website at montgomeryal.gov. Please visit that page and share it with anyone who may benefit from those services. Before we close, I want to invite everyone to two events that capture the spirit of this season and the heart of our city. First, the Gobble Wobble 5K, happening the morning after Thanksgiving. So that means you can indulge on Thursday, on Thanksgiving, and know that you can work all of those calories off on Friday. Work them all off because we're not going to count them on Thursday. But this is one of our favorite holiday traditions. It's a lighthearted way to burn off that food and spend time together and celebrate health, community, and fun. It's exactly the kind of event that reminds us of who we are when we come together. And this extends to our visitors and some of our friends and family that are coming back to Montgomery to visit one another. And then, as we turn toward December, but before we turn toward December, we also want to invite everybody to come out to the Turkey Day Parade on Thanksgiving Day. It is truly pageantry at its finest, with marching bands, organizations, schools, nonprofits, and so many people that come out to honor the Thanksgiving Classic that is the annual Turkey Day Classic held at Alabama State University. So we certainly want to invite you to come out to that parade as well. Now, as we turn toward December, we want to bring your attention to something very, very important. It is something that not only changed the city, but changed the state and changed this nation. And that is the 70th anniversary of the Montgomery bus boycott. We proudly proclaim ourselves as the birthplace of the civil rights movement, where ordinary people did extraordinary things without the support or the position or power of government or of many of the things that we now hold dear. These people, many whom we know, friends, family, church members, neighbors, community leaders from all walks of life, banded together to change the city and what will go on to change the state, the nation, and beyond. And so while it's also a celebration, it's also a call for reflection. We celebrate the courage of Mrs. Rosa Parks, leadership of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and so many other faith leaders, and the resolve of the countless men and women who risk everything to demand equality. But we also remember that this work is yet to be finished. Even today, we must continue to push forward to protect the rights of each and every person who's benefited from the sacrifices of the men, women, and children who are behind this boycott. It will go on to lead to the civil rights movement, which changed the world in so many ways that we can't count. So it's up to each and every one of us, everyone, not only in the city of Montgomery, everyone in central Alabama, everyone in the state and beyond, to commemorate what this means. And so you can't join us in person at many of our events listed at mgmbusboycott.com or at our other websites that we have listed on montgomeryal.gov. We want you to tune in. We want you to stream it. We want you to share this with your friends and your family. Many of the programs, many of the panels, many of the discussions and the galas that we have will need your involvement and your participation, because it's important for us to understand the true history of our nation, both the pain and the progress that has been exhibited in this city. And so from strengthening public safety to honoring our veterans, to lifting up families and celebrating our shared history, this is what it means to move Montgomery forward together. I'm thankful for our city, for all of our employees, and to every resident who believes in our shared purpose. Together, we're proving that Montgomery is a city on the move and a city that continues to make progress And we want each and every one of you to have a healthy and happy and safe Thanksgiving. And we look forward to all the great things that we'll be doing around the holidays, and we look forward to seeing you in our community. With that said, that concludes my remarks. I'll open up to any questions that you may have at this time. Yes.
You mentioned that y'all don't stop until all of the suspects are caught in that mass shooting. What can we tell our viewers as to how they can help?
Well, we want your viewers to know they can continue to share tips with the city of Montgomery, with police department, certainly with Crime Stoppers. There are anonymous ways to provide those tips and provide those leads. There is still a $50,000 reward that exists in this heinous crime, and we want each and every person that may know something or thinks they may know something to let us know. It's never too late, even if they have not come forward to offer any information at this point, to share that with law enforcement, and we'll make sure to follow that up with our actions and with our collaboration that we've had at the local, state, and federal level. Yes, sir.
Can you speak on the city COO,
She is.
Is there anything you can touch on?
Nope, she's still here with the city. Yes, sir. All right, yes.
We know that you disagree with the $50,000 contract limit the council passed last week. Do you plan to veto this?
No, I don't plan to veto. It's just going to slow things down for the city, and it will impact our residents. It will impact, those people who are looking to get their streets paved, those people who are looking to get some of the projects done, because we're going to have to go through a lot more steps than we had before. So, unfortunately, not only, during this time when we have a lot of leaves falling and we're trying to get the streets clean and things along those lines, we're going to see this impacted by many, many other engagements with the city and our residents. And that's the unfortunate part, is that we look for ways to try to, improve government and to try to make sure it's efficient, and that doesn't help us do just that. We hold ourselves to the highest ethical standards from my previous position to where I am right now. I think that's some members of the council meddling in day-to-day operations of the city. It had never been done prior to this year, and I think it was a solution in search of a problem, to be honest. And I think that it will have an impact on several projects that we have, and it will have an impact on a day-to-day interaction between the residents and what they're expecting from the city, and the city being able to deliver on those issues. All right. Well, listen, thank you all so much for the questions. Thank you all for all the good work. Y'all have a good day. Thank you.